take care of it. And the wild things. Max put on his suit and he went off. And then he put this scaring his dog. And then he said, I'll eat you. Not yet. Let's start right here. Her mom said, what did he say in the story?
His mother called him Wild Thing.
Sorry.
And his mom called him Wild Thing. And then she sent Max off to bed and out in no food. Because he said, I'll eat you up. So his mom sent him off to bed out like this. And then a forest grew in his bedroom and grew and grew and grew and grew and grew and grew till his bed was gone. And then he went off to scare the wild thing. And he found the ocean, and there's a private boat just for him to ride across the ocean with.
Good thing he found the ocean.
And then he went, and then the next morning he found a wild thing, and he was scared of it. And then he got to the wild thing. I'm nectarizing this picture. I'm nectarizing this picture.
You necarize it?
Yeah.
You mean you recognize it?
That's a picture what's in your office, what was in my bedroom first.
Sure is.
What page is this? And they say, I'll eat you up.
Is this the page where it says, let the wild rumpus start?
Not yet.
And then they rolled their terrible eyes. And they showed their terrible... What's about the teeth?
Baba can read it, I can't. They rolled their terrible eyes and they showed their terrible claws.
How about their teeth?
And they gnashed their terrible teeth.
Yep, that's what it says.
They rolled their terrible eyes. And they showed their terrible claws. And they gnashed their terrible teeth. Here. And then he said, now what did he say, Baba?
Be still.
Be still, said Max.
And he tamed them with a magic trick.
And he tamed them with a magic trick. And then what? I recognize this picture too.
Yeah, that's the one Grandma painted for you.
Now what, Baba?
We'll turn the page.
Now what?
Well, they made him king of all the wild things.
And then...
And now, Max cried, let the wild rumpus start.
Let the wild rumpus start.
Yay.
Wild rumpus.
Wild rumpus. Boy, they're being wild, aren't they?
Wild rumpus.
That looks like a pretty wild rumpus.
Wild rumpus. And then
Max said, now stop.
Now stop. And Max sent him off to bed.
Without their supper.
Out their supper. And then he smelled something good. So he went somewhere where they loved. Was the person who will love him. And then They rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws and snatched their terrible teeth. And he sailed off in his private boat
That's right. And waved goodbye.
and waved goodbye. And then they'll say, "We'll eat you up." And he'll say, and then Max said, "No." And then he sailed away in his private boat. And then the next morning, he found his breakfast laying on the table before bed. Was still hot. The end.
The end.
Yay, good job.